This conference will now be recorded.
So now let's see the remaining methods of map collection class and how to use this map collection class and how to manage the elements we'll see practically today. Okay. The next method. We have discussed about the various methods of map collection class, and now let's see the few more methods of map collection. The next method is clear method. So what is the use of this clear method? To remove all the elements from the collection. Whatever the elements are available inside your map collection, to remove all the elements from the collection, we are using this clear method. Okay. Now, so by using this method, we can remove all the elements from the map collection. And the syntax is, we can specify the map collection name dot clear. What is my map collection name? Fruits map dot clear. Okay. Now, the next one. The next method is clone. So what is this clone method? What is the use? To prepare a duplicate copy of that map collection. To create one more copy of that same map collection, we are going to be using that clone method. Okay. Now, let's see how can we use this clone method. We can create a backup copy of the map collection. Now tell me, how can we use this? Fruits map dot clone. Now what it will returns now? It will prepare a copy. Copy of what? Map collection. Then where we can store that copy here? We need to store that copy, right? Then where we can store that? Another map, right? How can we define that map now? Map of string comma string. Why string comma string? Okay, that means here whatever the map that we are going to be cloning, that this map will be of type what? Keys of type string, values also of type string. So it will be preparing one more exact copy. So we have to define the map collection with the same key and the value data type, so that we are using string and string. Now, map of string comma string. We can specify the object name like as backup copy. Okay. So now we are going to be preparing a cloned copy of this fruits map collection. This map is having the key as of type string, values also of type string, so that here it will be preparing the similar kind of copy. So that to store that one, I'm creating one more map collection with the same data types here. Next, the next method is equals method. Equals. We can specify the source map. So what is the use of this equals method? Right. So in order to verify both the map collections are identical or not, whatever the elements are available inside my map collection, both are similar or not, I would like to verify. For that one, we are using that the equals method. Okay. Now, We can compare two map collections. We can compare two map collections. It returns true if both the collections are same. Both the collections are similar. Else, it returns false. And the syntax is, I would like to verify if fruits map dot equals. Here I would like to specify the source map collection. Then I would like to show the message system.debug both the collections are same. Else, I want to display that system.debug both the collections are different. I want to show that message. In order to show whether the collections are similar or not, we are using this equals method. Next, two more most important methods as part of this map collection. Done? Now. So now let's see the next method here. Sometimes I want only the key names. Inside my map collection, I'm having some elements are available. Okay, I'm having some elements like the red and the yellow, green, black. These are few keys are available inside my map collection. I want only those keys. I don't want the complete element. I want only the keys part. I don't want the value part here. Only the keys part I want. How can we get this one? In order to get only the keys available inside your map collection, we are using a method called as key set method. Okay, key set. So now key set method is going to be returning that all the key names available inside your collection. Now, key set method. It will return what? Only the keys. Now keys are what? Unique or duplicate? Unique. Where we can store these unique elements? In which collection we can store the unique elements? List collection or set collection? Set collection. So that the return type is set. Okay, set. Set of what? What is the data type here? String. Why string? Because here the key will be of type what? String. So that here we need to define a string data type. So that we have to specify the data type over here. What type of element it is going to return here. Okay. By using this key set method, we can get only the keys available inside your collection. Okay. Now, by using this method, we can get all the key names exist in the collection in the form of set collection. In the form of set collection. And the syntax is set of string. Keys collection equals to, I'm indicating that. Fruits map dot key set. Okay, fruits map dot key set. Next, the last method. as part of this map collection. As of now, we are collecting only the keys part. Sometimes I want only the values. How can we collect that? For that one, we have a method called as values. Okay, values method. Values method is used to collect only the values part, not the keys. I don't want the keys part. I want only the values. At that time, we can use that values method. Okay. To get only the key names, we are using that key set method. To get only the values, we are using that values method. Okay. Now I'm indicating that. So now values will be of type what? List collection. Why list? Because values may be having duplicate also. Duplicate elements can be accommodatable in list collection, so that it will be returning the result in the form of list collection. Okay, syntax is very, very important here. Okay, now it returns all the element values in the form of a list collection. It returns all the element values in the form of a list collection. Syntax: list of string values collection equals to fruits map dot values. These are the various methods are available as part of your map collection. Collections are the base for the entire development. Wherever you go, always we have to use collections, because every functionality we have to implement in the form of bulkification. Bulkification can be always achieved with the help of collections and for loop. Okay, these two things are very, very important. Done with these methods. Now, so what are the various methods we have discussed as part of this map collection? Put method, put all, is empty, size method, contains key, get method, remove method, clear, clone method, equals method, and then key set method, values method. These are the various methods are available. Okay, now let's see how can we prepare a small example on this map collection, how to use these elements, how to manage the elements inside the map collection by using these methods. Now let's see practically one by one. Okay, so let me take a small example. Now, so let me define a map collection first in order to store some elements. Okay, now I am creating the map collection object. I would like to create the map collection object now. Now tell me how can we do that here? Map of string comma string. I'm defining that map collection over here. Okay, I'm defining that map collection. Now I'm giving that name as some fruits map equals to new map of string comma string. So now this is the map collection which I have prepared right now, where the key will be of type string, value is also of type string. So now tell me how many elements are there inside my map collection now? 0. There is no elements are available. Collection is empty. I want to show that. Print the collection size. I'm indicating system.debug. Collection size is, I would like to specify fruits map dot size. I'm displaying the collection size here. But we don't have any elements right now inside my map collection, so it will be giving that size as 0. Now, click on execute. Request has been sent to the server. Now select the debug only checkbox. See the result. Now it is indicating that collection size is 0. Now, the next one. Now initially my collection is empty, so now I would like to add some elements over here. Adding elements to the collection. Now, how can we add the elements to the collection now? Fruits map dot, what is the method name? Put. Now, I'm adding some elements over here, like some black grapes. Fruits map dot put. I'm indicating some red apple. Fruits map dot put green some mango. Fruits map dot put, I would like to indicate some yellow banana. So these are few elements I'm adding inside my map collection over here. Okay, so now black grapes, red apple, green mango, yellow banana. These are the 4 elements I'm adding inside my map collection. So now once elements have been getting added, then what will be the collection size now? 4. So now here I'm indicating that after adding elements, I would like to indicate the collection size. So now it has to show the collection size as 4 because we are adding 4 elements. Now I want to show the collection elements over here. Print the collection elements. System.debug. Collection elements are, I would like to specify, fruits map. Okay, fruits map. Simply I'm going to be indicating that collection over here. Whatever the collection is available, this collection elements I'm going to be indicating over here, which will be getting visible both key and the value pairs by separating a comma. Done? Now, so let me execute this piece of code. Click on execute. So now it will display the elements over here. Now after adding the elements, the collection size is 4 because we have added 4 elements here. So now tell me, is it ordered collection or unordered collection? Unordered collection. So we have added the elements of black grapes. First element is black grapes here. Red apple, but it is having that value what? Green mango. And then it is having that red apple. And then finally yellow banana. That means what? Whatever the order we have added the elements, in the same order collection elements will not be available here. It is arranging the elements in the alphabetical order based on the key names, not the based on the values. Okay, not based on values. If it is arranging based on the values, then apple should be first, but it is not showing the apple first over. It is displaying that elements based on the key in the alphabetical order, so that math collection is purely in unordered collection. Okay, so which is going to be arranging the elements based on the key name in alphabetical order by default here. Okay, now the next one. So now let me try to add some duplicate elements over here. Adding duplicate elements. Now I'm adding 2 more elements over here. Fruits map dot put. I'm indicating orange and orange. I'm adding one element orange comma orange. Color is also same and the fruit name is also same. Now next one. Fruits map dot put. I'm indicating that red cherry. I'm adding these elements here. Now I want to indicate system.debug after adding duplicates. I want to display that elements. Fruits map. So once the elements has been getting added, the duplicate elements has been getting added, then I would like to show those collection element because I want to know what's going on internally here if I'm adding some duplicate elements with the same key. You know that yesterday we have discussed that. Whenever I'm going to be adding that one more key with the same name, it won't accept that. It will be overriding that value inside this. Okay, with the same key name, it won't allow. Okay, with the same key name, it won't allow. That's what here when you go to your map, when you go to your pick list control also. For example, assume that I'm having that pick list control, hiring manager. In my pick list control, I'm having the location field which is having some elements here. Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Pune. Let me try to add one more element with the same name here. Observe what will happen. Now go to the view fields. I'm having that the location field is available. These are the elements are available. These are the keys and these are the values are available. Let me try to add one more element. Click on new button to add one more element. I'm adding that element with the name some Kochi. Okay, but that Kochi is not available already here. And then I'm adding Pune. Okay, Pune. Click on save button. Observe what will happen. In this case, it is indicating that duplicate values not allowed because with the same name, it will be creating a key value also. But with the key Pune, already element is there. Okay, already element is there so that it won't allow you to add. So now here I'm removing this one. Okay, now click on save button. Now the element will be getting acceptable as it is. The Kochi will be getting added over here, which will be adding at the last. If you want to arrange these elements in the alphabetical order, just you can go to that option called as reorder button. Click on reorder button. If you want to arrange in a specific order, then you can add. Or else, if you want to arrange in the alphabetical order, then you will be having the checkbox display values in alphabetical order. Select the checkbox, click on save. Now we can able to add that element. We can able to arrange in the alphabetical order also. Now you will be having that elements will be available to you. When you go to that hiring manager, refresh your user interface, we can able to get the element, the value, Kochi also after Hyderabad here. Like that, we can able to add some elements also, but duplicate elements cannot be acceptable here. Okay. No. Because here, whatever the pick list that we have, it is purely the backend implementation of pick list is purely a map collection. Okay. Now. Now let me execute this part here. Click on execute. It won't show any error message. It won't show any runtime error, compile time error, nothing. Directly, simply what it will do, it is going to be overwriting that value for that element red. For this red, already one value is available, that is called as apple. This value will be getting overwritten with the new value that is called as cherry. Okay, now let's go to your results. Select the debug only. Initially, these are the elements are available: black grapes, green mango, red apple, yellow banana. Now we are adding two more elements over here. One is orange, orange. This is a different one, so that element has been accepted as it is over here. Second one, red. Red is already there. The key is already available, so it will be overriding that value apple with the new element value cherry. So that wherever we have that value red, that value has been overridden with the value cherry. Like that, here it is going to be overriding that value to you. Okay. Whenever you are passing the duplicate elements, list is having a different behavior, set is having a different behavior, map is having a different behavior. Okay. Now, next one. Now I want to search for a particular element over here. Okay, I want to search for a particular element key. Now search for the element. If the element is available, I want to get that one. Then how can we do that? What is that method? To get that element, first of all, I want to know whether that key is available or not. Contains method or what? Contains key. Contains key method. Okay. Now for that one, I'm verifying. If fruits map dot contains key, I'm passing that key as some yellow. Okay. If the key has been found, then I want to show the message system.debug element found. Element value is, how can we get the element value? Get method, right? Fruits map dot get. In this get method, we need to pass that key name. Now else I want to show the message system.debug element not found. Element not found, invalid key name. Okay. Now, so let me execute this code. So with the name hello, if there is any key has been found, then I would like to get the element value here by passing the key name. And then if the element key is not available, I want to show the message element not found. Click on execute. Select the debug only checkbox. Now it is indicating that element found, element value is banana. Suppose, for example, I'm passing the value, okay, hello 1 2 3. Do we have any element with this particular key? No. Now I would like to get the message element not found. Select the debug only checkbox. Now it is indicating element not found, invalid key name. Okay, so we can't find any element with the key yellow 1 2 3. Like that, we can able to specify that one. Next, the next one here, I would like to remove an element over here based on some specific key. Removing the element from the key collection. How to remove the element? What is that method? Remove method. But before removing the method element, first of all, we have to know whether the element is exist or not. For that one, we are using contains key method again. Okay, now same. So I'm using that fruits map dot contains key. If I'm passing the value red, if this element is exist, then I would like to remove that element here. Fruits map dot remove. Here I'm removing the element here, that is by passing the key red, and then I want to show the message. After removing element, I would like to collection. I would like to show the collection fruits map. Else, I want to show the message. Element not found. Invalid key name. Invalid key name. So now with this key, we don't have any element inside that. So that here it is indicating the message element not found. Invalid key name. Done? Now, so let me execute this piece of code. See the results. Select the debug only checkbox. Now it is indicating that after removing the element, the elements will be getting visible. Previously, these are the elements are available. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 elements are available. Now here we are having only 4 elements. The element red cherry has been removed because I am going to be removing the element by passing the key as red. Okay. Now the next one. So now I would like to get only the keys part. Whatever the key names are available, I would like to collect only the key names. How can we get only the key names available inside my map collection? Key set method, right? Now display all the element keys. I want to get that. How can we display that one here? I want to collect all the key names. Fruits map dot key set. Now it is returning the result in the form of what? Set collection. Set of what? String. Okay. Now I'm indicating that keys collection equals to I want to display this. Okay. The key set. So now I'm using this key set method, which is going to be returning all the key names available inside my map collection. Whatever the elements are available, for every element there is a key, that all the keys will be getting returned. So which will be returning in the form of a set collection, so that I'm storing this all the key names inside my keys collection set. Okay. Now I want to display that here. I want to display each and every element here, so that I'm indicating that system.debug key names are element keys. Element key names are, I want to show that keys collection. So whatever the keys are available, I want to display all those keys inside that debug log file by using that the system.debug statement. Now, so let me execute this piece of code. Select the debug only checkbox. Now we can able to get all the key names: black, green, orange, yellow. Whatever the key names are available, we can able to collect all the key names over here. Okay. Now Sometimes I want to display only the values. How can we get? Display all the element values. But I want to show each and every value in a separate row. What we can do? Enhanced for loop. Now tell me, how can we do that? Okay. Tell me the code. Okay. List of string. I'm indicating that values collection. Puts map dot values method. Now then tell me for okay. Okay, string. Okay, value name, for example, variable. Values collection. Now, any chance to optimize? Any chance to optimize here? Straightforward. It's a straightforward option. Any chance to reduce these 2 lines of code into a single line? Straightforward, it is visible here. That's it. Yeah, tell me. Then where we can do? Where we can specify? Now here what I'm doing here, I'm collecting all the values of my elements. I'm storing inside a collection. This collection is occupying some memory, right? Now, and then I'm going to passing this collection to my file. So now instead of doing this one, instead of occupying some memory, can't we replace this particular place with this particular method? Chance? Any chance is there? Yes. Directly we can able to substitute here itself. Then in this case, we no need to use this collection. So we can save some memory also. Okay, we can save some memory also. So that here, whenever we are going to be writing the code, if there is any chance, then try to optimize the code here. Okay, try to optimize here. Now here I am going to be writing that for loop. Inside the for loop, first of all, I am collecting this fruits map dot values. Now we can raise a question. Sir, in this case, if I am writing inside the for loop is repeating for multiple times, and every time it is going to executing. No. So now whatever the right side that you are written, this will be executing only once. Now this method will be getting executed, values method will be executed. It will collect all the element values, placing inside the temporary memory. Once the values have been placed inside the temporary memory, from there it will be keep on iterating to get every element value. It will be placing inside the variable name. We can display directly here. Okay, so that we can save some memory also. We can reduce the number of lines of code also here. Okay, now I'm indicating this system.debug element value is I want to show that value. That's it. So no need to maintain a separate collection by allocating some additional memory. We can able to write that method directly inside that file. Okay. So now click on execute button. Let's see the result. Select the debug only checkbox. Now we can able to see all the element values also. Here the element value. So now grapes, mango, banana, orange. Okay, all these element values will be getting available. Now sometimes I want to show both key and the value both. Then you can raise the question, already we are able to display key and the value both are visible. But here we have displayed in a single row, but I want to show different rows. Key value, I want to show in different rows. Okay. First of all, what we need to take? Okay. Okay. Key and value, how can we collect here? Okay. Okay. Then what is the data type here? In that for loop, if I'm writing like that. String in the sense, if it is a string, it can hold only one. But we are having key and value, both are available. Then what we can do? Again, you want me to define one more map? Then, in order to get the element value, what we need? To get the element value, what we need? To get the value part. If you want to get the value, then what we need to supply? Key. Then first of all, I need to collect that all the keys over here. How to collect all the keys? I want to collect all the keys. How can we get? Key set method. Now, once you are iterating that key set, then you can able to get that element value also. Both side by side, we can able to display that here. Okay. Now, I want to display that here. Display both key and value. I want to collect all the keys first. For that one, here I'm using that for loop. Here I'm using this fruits map dot key set. I'm going to be collecting all the keys. Once the keys has been getting collected, I'm going to be iterating that each and every key. So each and every key will be of type what? String. I'm indicating the key name. This is the key name here. Every key I'm collecting. I want to show that key and the value. So now I'm indicating that key name is, I want to show that key name. And then along with that, I want to show the value also. How can we get the value? What is that method? Get of key name. Okay. So now here what I'm doing, I'm going to be collecting all the keys available inside my map collection, and then I'm going to be iterating that keys collection by using that enhancer for loop. Every key name I'm collecting from that collection, I'm going to displaying the key name, and beside that I'm going to be collecting the element value also by using that get method. So whatever the key that I have collected, that key name I'm passing to my get method. Now the get method is going to be collecting the value of that element here. So we can display both key side by side value also. Okay. Now let me execute this. Select the debug only. Now we can able to see both key and the values. Black grapes, green mango, yellow banana, orange. All these elements we can able to see. Okay. So now here in this case, we can able to collect all the element values and the keys also here in one shot. We can get only the keys part, we can get only the values part, we can get both also here, side by side as well as separate rows also. Okay, all are possible. But here it will be giving the dynamic order here. If you are collecting these keys, it will be giving the dynamic order to you. Okay. Now, the next one. I want to remove all the elements over here. How can we remove all the elements? Remove all elements from the collection. Fruits map dot clear. System dot debug. After removing all elements, I want to show the size. Fruits map dot size. Now click on execute. Now click on execute. Now see the result. Select the debug only checkbox. Now it is indicating that after removing all the elements, the collection size will be 0. Okay. So this is how we are going to be managing the elements inside your map collection by using the various methods offered by the map collection class to you. So these are the three collection classes we have used: list collection, set collection, map collection. Okay. Hmm. No, we can't remove only the keys. If you want to remove the complete record, we want to remove. That means complete remove element we want to remove, including key, value, both. It will remove that. Only the key you can't remove. Only the value you can't remove. The complete element we can remove that. Okay. Done. Yeah. Done with this code. Okay. So this is the way we are going to be interacting with that map collection over here by using that various ready-made methods which has been given by Salesforce by default. Okay. So now with this one, we are done with that collection classes. Now, so let's go to that next topic here. The next one is SOQL queries. So what exactly the SOQL queries? What is the use? How to prepare the SOQL queries inside your Apex programming? And how can we fetch the data from the object through SOQL queries? Now let's see practically in this case. Okay. So now tell me, what is the full form of this SOQL? Salesforce Object Query Language. Okay. So SOQL stands for Salesforce Object Query Language. Then what is this Salesforce Object Query Language? Why? What is the use? Okay, right. Just like as SQL, right. Then, so now for example here, we have so many applications as part of our organization. Those applications may be standard applications also, like as sales, service, marketing, content, charter, community. Like that, we are having so many standard applications which has been given by Salesforce by default. And along with that, we have created our own custom applications also. It may be banking, finance, insurance, healthcare, manufacturing, whatever. You will be having a collection of applications are available, okay, which is the group of both standard and custom applications are available within an organization. So through those applications, what we are doing, we are going to managing that application related data. By using my banking application, I'm managing the banking related data, like as my customers information, loans information, accounts information, the transactions information, branches information, everything we are managing here by maintaining in terms of the various tables. When coming to my sales application, I'm managing the sales related data, like as some leads information, accounts information, contacts information, opportunities information, products information, price book information, quotes information, like that we can able to manage over here. By using each and every application, we are managing that application specific data or organization specific data or business specific data. So to store that data, we are having so many objects. We are using so many tables because tables are providing the very effective mechanism to store the data. We can't store the data in terms of the files. We can't use the file systems because files won't provide security for your data. If somebody has opened the file, data will be visible. They can remove the data, they can modify, they can misuse also. Suppose if the system has been crashed, then automatically you are formatting the system, then file will be lost, and then automatically data will go. For that one, even though if the data has been gone, I need some mechanism to restore it back. For that one, we are using some location, we are using a software, we are using a repository, we are using a tool that is called as database. In that database, we are going to storing the whole data in terms of the various tables. Okay, in terms of the various tables. Because if the data is available in a structured format, nothing but tabular format, then only we can able to manage the data very easily. Okay, for that one, we are going to be having the various tables in the database. By creating the tables, we are going to be storing the information inside this. Those tables may be associated, those tables may be independent, whatever. I'm not bothered about that. Once the data has been getting stored, once a record has been created inside the object, sometimes, okay, sometimes I want to modify the record. How to modify? In order to modify, for example, let me show you that. For example, I'm having an account record. So this is called as Prithvi Kumar. For this account, I want to give the rating as heart. Currently, it is having the value code. I want to change it as heart. What we can do? Click on the record. That means what? I'm collecting the record details from the database, right? I'm collecting the data. Data is visible. Now, make the changes whatever you want here. You can make the changes whatever you want. We are committing back to the database here. That means what? In order to modify the record, first of all, collect the record, place into your user interface, make the required changes whatever you want, commit the changes back to the database. So for that one, we need to get the records here. Okay. Now, for example, I want to remove a record here. What record? Tesla Motors record I want to remove. What we can do? Click on the, that means I'm collecting the record data from the database. Now click on delete button so that we can remove the record also from my object. That means what? Whenever if you are going to be inserting the record, directly we can insert the record here. No need to get the record first. Directly we can push the record into the database here. But upon updation, upon deletion, upon undeletion, upon merging, first of all, we have to collect the record here from the database. Collect the record, then delete. Collect the record and modify. Collect the record and delete. Collect the record, merge. We can do whatever the operations you want. In this case, in the remaining DML operations, except that insert statement, if you want to perform any other DML operations like as update, delete, and then undelete, upsert, merge, in this remaining 5 DML operations, if you want to perform any operation on the record, first of all, you have to get the record from the database. Then how can we get the record? To get the records from the database, we are using that SOQL queries. Okay, that's what we are done with insert, but we are not done with the DML statements, remaining DML statements. Once SOQL query has been done, then we'll go back to the DML statement. We'll see the remaining DML statements also again. Update statement, update and delete, undelete, upsert, merge, all these things we'll see practically. Okay, now. So now here in this case, what do you mean by this SOQL query? SOQL stands for Salesforce Object Query Language. So now, what are the data that we're storing by using my applications? All the data will be storing inside my objects. Object means tables. Tables are available inside the database.com. So that here, we need to connect to the database.com. We need to collect the required information to do some operation on that. We can do any operation, deletion also, updation also. You can do whatever you want. It's your choice. At the time, to perform the operation on the record, first of all, we have to get the record from the database object. For that one, we are going to be using a query language called as SOQL query language. So my data is available inside that Salesforce object. From that object, I would like to get the data. Okay, get the data. For that one, we are preparing a query. What do you mean by query basically? For example, come to a general scenario. Today, I'm facing some problem with my mobile network. Then what we can do? We can make a call to the customer care. We are going to be raising a complaint, a case. Okay. Now, in this case here, what we are going to do in this case, I'm going to be making a request to the people. Boss, today, this is the problem I'm facing with your mobile network. So please resolve that one. Now tell me that request will be in the form of a demand. It's an order. No, it's a request. We are requesting the people for what? To resolve my problem, which I'm facing with their product or with their service. So that here when coming to the query is nothing but a request. To whom? To the database. For what? To get some data from that objects. What records you want, we can decide that. It may be from account object, contact object records, it may be lead records, position records, whatever you want, you can fetch that information. It may be all records, it may be some records also, it may be one record also, whatever. Depends upon your requirement. So that here we are going to making a query, we are making a request to the database.com. Then how can we make a request to the database.com? Can I say to the database.com, please give me account record, then will the database will understand? No. Database can't understand all the languages. If I say in Hindi, if I say in English, then it can't understand. Because a database can understand some formats, some syntaxes, some rules. Okay, some guidelines are available here. It can understand the request in a specific format only. So that we need to prepare the request in a specific format. For that one, we are using a language. We are using a language which can be understandable by the database here. So now by using this language, we are going to preparing a query. We are preparing a request which is used to get the data from your Salesforce object. For that one, we are using that SOQL query language. Salesforce object query language. By using Salesforce object query language, we can able to prepare some requests which can be sending to the database.com in order to get the required information from your objects. So with the help of SOQL query, we can retrieve the records from your object. Now, how many records I can retrieve? Only one? No. Sometimes I want only one. Sometimes I want 10 records. Sometimes I want all the records also. So depends upon the requirement, we can decide that what records you want. All the records, one record, multiple records, or how many records you want, you can decide that. That possibility is available. So that by using this SOQL query, not only fetching one record, not only fetching few records, we can fetch all the records available inside that object. Now, sometimes you can raise a question. Sir, upon fetching the data, can we fetch the data from only one object or can we fetch the data from multiple objects? Do we have any chance to collect the data from multiple objects by using one query? Yes, there is a possibility. For example, let me show you over here. For example, I'm opening a record here. Edge Communications. Once you click on this record, account record details have been getting loaded. Only the account record details it has collected. Associated contact also. These records are where? In which object? Contact object. These are available where? Opportunity object. These are available where? Case object. That means what? By using a single request, when you click on that record, it is collecting the data from account, contact, opportunity, case. If you have any other related object, those will be getting collected. So by using the SOQL query, not only collecting the data from one object, we can collect the data from the multiple objects also. That possibility is there. Okay, with the help of SOQL queries, we can get the data from one or more number of objects. Then we can collect multiple records also. Okay, we can collect some multiple records also. Now, sometimes you can raise a question. Sir, I want to collect only those account records whose rating is some hard. Remaining records I don't want. Is it any possibilities there? Yes, we can able to apply your own conditions. Sometimes I want only those positions, okay, whose location is for some Pune. So we can able to add some conditions. Sometimes I want only those lead records, okay, who are from Hyderabad location. Sometimes I want only those contacts whose email ID value is not null. Who has given the email ID, only those people's information I want. Like that here, we can able to collect the data. Upon collecting the data from your object, we can add one or more number of user different conditions in order to filter out the records. I don't want all the records. I don't want unnecessary data. I don't want unnecessary columns information. I want to fetch only those records. Okay, I want to fetch only those records which are required for me. Unnecessarily, I don't want to collect the data. I don't want to place the data inside my application. I don't want to occupy more memory. I want to make my application lightweight and simple. I want to consume very less memory here. If I'm consuming very less memory, then I can run my application very fastly. For that one here, by consuming less memory, I want to make my application performance improved. For that reason here, I don't want to fetch the unnecessary information. Whatever the records are required for me, only those records I would like to collect by adding the required user different conditions. Like for example, when you go to your Salesforce instance here. Now initially, when you click on this accounts tab, it is providing the records here. These are the recently viewed, recently created, recently modified records. I want to collect all the records. So that here just you can select that all accounts. We can able to collect all the account records available inside this. Sometimes I want only the heart rating records. What we can do? Select that option, heart rating customers, only the heart rating records will be getting visible. That means what? We can able to apply some conditions also depends upon your requirement here. That possibility is available to you. Okay, clear? Now, so in this case, by using this SOQL query, we can able to fetch one or more number of records from the Salesforce objects. Not only from one object, we can able to fetch the data from the multiple objects also. So upon fetching the data, we can add the required user-defined conditions to filter out the records. I don't want all the records. I want only some specific records. For that one, I would like to add the user-defined condition based on my application requirement. That possibility is also available as part of your SOQL query. So in this case, how to prepare this SOQL query? What is the syntax? Okay, how to prepare my SOQL query? What is the syntax of this SOQL query? Now let's see practically here. Okay, now make a note of this one. SOQL queries. By using SOQL queries, we can fetch one or more records from one or more objects from the database.com. Upon fetching the records from the object, we can add the required user-defined conditions. To filter the records based on the need. Based on the need, we can able to add the required filters also in order to filter out the records. Now, query. It is a request to the database.com to fetch the required records from the object. It is a request to the database.com to fetch the required records from the object. Okay. So one small announcement, and this Saturday the classroom is not available, so that we don't have the session on Saturday. Sunday we have the session 3 hours, 10:30. Okay, 10:30 to 1:30 we are having the session on Sunday. Done? Now, so what is the syntax now? Whenever you are going to preparing the SOQL query, we have to follow a specific syntax. We have to follow a specific format. What is that syntax? Now let's see. So in this case, we have to use that keyword called as select. Okay, select statement. SOQL queries are always prepared by using select statement. Generally, if anybody is aware of database, how many people are aware of database? Raise the hand, please, if I can understand. Okay, almost 6 to 7 people. Okay, now. So in this case, the people are going to be using that select statement to get the data from the database as part of SQL statements. Okay, structured query language. But there you are specifying select star from table name. But here there is no concept of star. Okay, Salesforce people has avoided the star concept over here. Okay, now, so that we have to specify select, you have to specify the field names or API names. If the field is a standard field, specify the field name by separating a comma. If the field is a custom field, specify the field API name, which is postfixing with underscore underscore C by separating the comma. Multiple field names or API names you can specify. Okay, now from object name. From which object you would like to fetch the data over here. Select the field name, nothing but the column names. Generally, when you go to the normal select statement, you will be having that select star or column name. Okay. When you go to the normal database, you are having star or column name. Even though if you're having the option of star in database, star reference what? All the columns available inside the table. It will return all the columns data. But even though we are having the concept of star in database, when you go to any real-time implementation by using Java, .NET, wherever you go, star is not recommended to use in the real-time implementation. Why? Because if I'm using that star, it will be returning all the columns information. For example, inside my table, I'm having some 200 columns are there. But in my application, I want only 10 columns information. If I'm writing simply star, it will return all the 200 columns information also to me. But from the 200 columns information, I'm returning using only 10 columns information. Remaining 190 columns information is storing in my application inside a collection, which is occupying some memory, which is waste for me, which is unnecessary for me. At that time, don't use that star concept. So that even though star is indicating by the database as part of real-time implementation, star is not recommended to use. But when Salesforce people are a step ahead. These people have completely avoided the star concept over here. So we don't have any star concept in Salesforce upon using SOQL query. If you want some 100 columns information, specify the column name. There is no alternative choice. Okay, by separating a comma. Column name, comma, column 1, comma, column 2, comma, column 3, up to 100 columns also we can specify. Okay, so now we can specify that select statement. Select, specify that column names from object name, from which object you would like to fetch the information. Then you will be having that optional conditions are available, filters are available. These are also called as clauses. Okay, clauses. We can apply so many clauses over here. When coming to the classes, the first class is a where class. Where conditions. We can specify the where class. So now what are the things I'm specifying inside the square braces? These are purely optional. If you want, you can use it. If you don't want, leave it, no problem. Okay. What are the things I'm specifying in the square braces? These are purely optional statements. Next. Next one, group by column names. And then having conditions. Order by column names. Limit number of records to return. And then offset number of records to skip. All rows for update. This is the select statement syntax. So these are the various classes are available as part of your select statement. Upon writing the query, the first 4 clauses should be in the same order. If you are changing the order, syntax is wrong. Okay. First of all, where clause, and then group by, and then having, and then order by. If you are changing the order, automatically syntax is wrong. Next, the next 2, limit clause and offset clause. So always offset clause should be always followed by limit clause. Okay. So if you're changing the order of these 2, first of all offset, then limit, it will be giving that wrong syntax to you. So that here, please take care about that order of these clauses which you are utilizing. But all the clauses are optional. These are not mandatory. Whenever if you want to filter out the record, that's what I have given that option here. Upon fetching the records from the object, we can add the required filters. To add these filters, we are using all these clauses here. Okay, with the help of these clauses, we can able to add the various filters to filter out the records to get the exact information by eliminating that unnecessary data. Okay, so now here in this case here, whenever I'm using this select statement, that means SOQL queries, there are some limitations are available. Okay, upon using that SOQL queries, we have some limitations. Now let's see. Gonna limits. Gonna limits. As part of SOQL queries, we are having the gonna limits. What are the various limitations has been given by Salesforce as part of SOQL query? Whenever I'm using SOQL queries, within a transaction, okay, within a transaction, we can use maximum of 100 SOQL queries, not more than that. Okay, we can use maximum of 100 SOQL queries, not more than that. When you try to use more than 100 SOQL queries within a transaction, when you try to use 101 the transaction, 101 the DM SOQL query, it will be raising that exception here. It is raising an exception, system dot limit exception, too many SOQL queries 101. Okay, too many SOQL queries 101. That means here you are crossing the limit here. You are already hit the limit over here. We have given the limitation up to 100 only, but you have reached to the limit, but still you are trying to be using one more additionally, which cannot be possible. You are crossing the limit, so that we are going to be cancelling your entire transaction over here. By using that 100 SOQL queries, whatever the data that you have collected, whole data will be getting lost. That means your transaction will be getting rolled back automatically by default. It will show the error message, system.limit exception, too many SOQL queries 101. Okay. Sometimes in the entry point of view, they will raise a question, what do you mean by the exception 101? 101 means what? SOQL query exception. When you try to use, okay, SOQL query is more than 100 within a transaction, Salesforce is going to be raising the exception, too many SOQL queries 101. Okay. Clear? Now make a note of this one. The first limitation here. We can have maximum of 100 SOQL queries within a transaction. Within a transaction. When the user tries to use more than 100 SOQL queries, then Salesforce will raise an exception, system dot limit exception, too many SOQL queries 101. Okay, so within a transaction we can use maximum of 100 SOQL queries, not more than that. Now By using this SOQL query, how many records we can able to fetch from the object? With the help of that SOQL query, we can fetch a maximum of 50,000 records, not more than that. That is the limitation. Each SOQL query can return maximum of 50,000 records, not more than that. Sometimes you can raise a question. Sir, I am having some 2 lakhs records inside my database table. I want to fetch all. At that time, there is a different mechanism is available. There, we are using a separate class called as database class. In that database class, we are using a method called as getQueryLocator method. With the help of that getQueryLocator method, we can execute the query. We can fetch up to 50 million records also. The possibility is there. Okay. So, but in normal SOQL query can return maximum of 50,000 records, not more than that. Okay. Now make a note over here. Each SOQL query can return maximum of 50,000 records. Each SOQL query can return maximum of 50,000 records. Now, next one, the best practices. So what are the best practices that we need to use upon writing this SOQL query? Now tell me, can you give me some best practices? At least one. Any one best practice. Upon writing this SOQL query, what kind of best practices that we need to follow? What is that? Why one query? Okay, right. Okay. That means what? Instead of fetching that all the columns data and the proper condition, get the required information only. Okay, that is one thing. Okay, next. Any other best practice? Now tell me, can I write a SOQL query within a for loop? Why? I'm not performing any DMLs here. Just have written a for loop. In that one, I have written one SOQL query. That's it. Nothing else. Why can't we use? Okay. Then, in this case, if I'm writing that SOQL query inside a for loop, okay, for loop is executing multiple times. Also depends upon the value. Suppose if the condition is from counter value 1 to 100, how many times for loop will iterate? 100 times. In each iteration, SOQL query will be getting used, right? So now first iteration, one SOQL query. Second iteration, second one. Third iteration, third one. Like that here up to 100 times the query will be getting executed within the transaction. Suppose if the for loop is repeating for 150 times, then what will happen? Up to 100 times it will execute as it is. At the time of 101 the time, it will be crossing the limit, it will be showing that message. So that here, whenever we are writing the SOQL queries, don't write any SOQL queries within the for loop. Okay, so that as a best practice, always avoid the usage of SOQL queries within the for loop. Why? Because in my local system it may work fine, because in my local system or in my local organization I'm having very less number of records are available. So for loop is repeating for 70 times, 100 times, okay, like as 80 times also fine, it will be work. But when I'm moving this code to the production, in the production you will be having some millions of records. It will be repeating for more number of times. At that time, it is crossing the governor limit also. For that one, don't write any SOQL query within the for loop. Always we have to write the SOQL queries outside the for loop only. Don't write within the for loop here. Okay, this is the first best practice. Second best practice is, upon writing the SOQL query, don't fetch the unnecessary columns information. Please fetch only that required columns information by adding the proper conditions inside that. Because if I'm collecting the unnecessary data, the data will be storing in my local system by occupying some memory here. If it is occupying more memory, if I'm having very less memory is available, at that time I can't accommodate the whole information. At that time, my application performance will be getting degraded. So that to make my application simple and then lightweight, I would like to consume very less memory. For that one, I would like to collect only the required information, okay, which is required inside my application side. So that don't fetch the unnecessary columns information. Please fetch only those records which are required for you by adding the proper conditions over here by using that various classes which has been given by Salesforce to you. Okay, clear? Now make a note of this one. Two best practices. The first one, as a best practice, it is always recommended to avoid the usage of SOQL queries inside the for loop. As a best practice, it is always recommended to avoid the usage of SOQL queries inside the for loop. So we can't write any SOQL query within the for loop. Next one, the second one. Upon fetching the data, we need to specify the required column names in the query so that we can avoid the unnecessary data. So that we can avoid the unnecessary data. We need to add the proper conditions to filter out the records. So whenever you are going to fetching the data, always okay, add the conditions inside the query itself, so that we can able to filter out the data. That means we can filter the records inside the database itself, not inside your application. So that make your query complex, don't make your application complex. Okay. Sometimes you can raise a question, sir, why am I going to be writing these particular conditions inside my query? I want to collect all the data from my database, will store inside my application. Here I will do the processing over here. For that one, unnecessarily, we have to write some additional code. It will take more time to process that. It will be impacting on your application performance. So that don't do the processing in your application side, do the processing in the database side itself. So that make your query complex by adding all the conditions, whatever you want. Don't make your application complex here. Just you can collect the data and then utilize it directly without doing any processing, without doing any additional the processing inside your application side. Okay, so for that one here we are going to following these two best practices as part of your SOQL queries. Okay, clear? Now in this case, how can we fetch the data here by using SOQL query? Whenever we are going to be executing this SOQL queries, okay, we are having two ways are available. Okay, upon executing the SOQL query, we have two ways. One way I think already you are aware of. What is that? Developer console. Where in the developer console? Query editor. Right. We are going to using query editor here. Okay, that is the first way. Second way is by using Apex programming. Through Apex programming, we can able to execute that. Okay, both are available now. So now make a note over here. We can invoke the SOQL queries in two ways. First one, by using query editor from the developer console. Second one, by using Apex programming. These are the two ways are available in order to invoke your SOQL queries. We can invoke the SOQL queries in two ways. First one is by using the query editor from the developer console. Second one is by using Apex programming. These are the two ways are available. Okay, then how can we execute this SOQL query by using query editor and Apex programming? We'll see practically in tomorrow's session. Okay, so in Apex programming here, SOQL queries has been subdivided into two types again. One is static SOQL, second one dynamic SOQL. Okay, then what is static SOQL? What is dynamic SOQL? How to prepare the static SOQL query? How to prepare the dynamic SOQL query? Upon executing the static SOQL query, if the query returns one record, how can we handle it? If the query returns multiple records, how can we handle it? Okay, we'll see practically in tomorrow's session here. Okay.